Alright, imagine checking into a cozy inn in the English countryside, expecting a night of peace, maybe a bit of history, right? But then, the owner warns you. This place is built on an ancient burial ground. And not just any burial ground, but a centuries-old pagan site. Oh, and did I mention the witchcraft, the ghost sightings, and the supposed demonic possessions? Welcome to the Ancient Ram Inn, a place where every creak, every shadow, and every cold draft could be more than just the wind. This isn't your average haunted house story. This place has a history, and not the kind that makes you want to stay the night. Let's dig into why the Ancient Ram Inn has a reputation as the most haunted spot in England. The Ancient Ram Inn was built in 1145 in the little town of Watton-under-Edge. And from the start, it wasn't just any old inn. This was built right on top of an ancient pagan burial ground, which is said to be cursed. Think about it. Hundreds of years ago, people believed this land had a strong connection to the spirit world. They performed rituals here, maybe even sacrifices. All that energy, some say it lingers. Now here's the kicker. It's also located on a spot known as a ley line. Ley lines are invisible lines that supposedly connect spiritually significant places around the world, like Stonehenge. People believe these ley lines carry spiritual energy, which is why the Ancient Ram Inn has been a hotbed of supernatural activity for as long as anyone can remember. Ghosts, demons, strange occurrences. It's like the land itself never lets anyone leave completely. Now, let's get into one of the scariest and most infamous tales tied to this place, the spirit of the witch. According to legend, during the height of the witch hunts in England, a woman accused of witchcraft took refuge in the inn, hoping to escape her fate. She hid out in one of the rooms, but was eventually caught, dragged out, and burned at the stake. Her ghost is said to still haunt the inn, particularly the room where she hid. People have reported seeing her, feeling cold chills, or even feeling like they're being watched whenever they're in that room. And here's where it gets even creepier. The inn's former owner, John Humphreys, who lived there for decades, found what he believed to be evidence of ritualistic activity tied to this witch. While digging in the inn's foundation, he discovered a number of small bones and dagger-like objects that some say could have been used in ancient rituals. This room is now called the Witch's Room, and it's said that the witch's spirit is one of the most active presences there. Guests have reported everything from feeling icy hands touching them to witnessing strange shadows darting across the room. Some paranormal experts believe that the energy from traumatic deaths, like executions, can remain in a place for centuries. They call this residual haunting, where the energy essentially records the emotions, like fear or pain, and plays them over and over. In the witch's room, it's as if the very walls remember that horrifying event, replaying her last moments for anyone who dares to spend the night. And the witch isn't the only one hanging around. People have reported seeing the ghost of a young girl named Rosie, who is said to be about 8 or 9 years old. Some think she was a servant, and like so many others at the time, she died in the inn under mysterious circumstances. Guests have seen her peeking around corners or heard her light footsteps running through the halls. Some even say they felt a tug at their sleeves, like a little child trying to get their attention. Then there's the Cavalier, a tall figure dressed in old-fashioned military attire. He's been seen roaming the halls, often with a stern look on his face. Some think he's one of the many soldiers who may have stayed in the inn during England's civil wars, and like the witch, he never truly left. John Humphreys, the man who lived there for over 50 years, had his fair share of spine-chilling encounters. He claimed that from the moment he moved in, he felt an evil presence. On his first night, he said he was physically dragged out of bed by an unseen force. Just imagine sleeping in your bed, then something grabs you and pulls you to the floor. Humphreys said this happened more than once, and it was just the beginning of what he would go through. Humphreys also reported finding sacrificial daggers and seeing apparitions around the inn. He believed that these spirits were tied to the land and that they had no intention of leaving. And he didn't think they were friendly. To him, this wasn't just a haunted house. It was a battleground for good and evil forces. Now, if the ghosts of a witch, a cavalier, and a child weren't enough, the ancient ram Inn also has a reputation for something darker, demonic entities. Multiple guests have reported feeling pushed or scratched by something they can't see. Some even claim to feel an overwhelming sense of dread as soon as they stepped inside, like something was watching them, something that didn't want them there. Many believe this demonic presence is tied to the rituals that were once performed on the grounds. Whether these rituals were pagan, witchcraft, or something even older, some believe they may have opened a doorway that can't be closed. It's this demonic element that has kept paranormal experts flocking to the inn, trying to uncover what exactly is haunting the place. Today, the Ancient Ram Inn is a popular destination for ghost hunters, paranormal enthusiasts, and, well, anyone curious or brave enough to spend a night in one of the most haunted places in England. The inn even offers ghost tours, where you can visit the witch's room, the bishop's room, and the room where Rosie, the little girl, is often seen. But don't let the casual tours fool you. People who visit have reported leaving with more than just stories. Some guests have had nightmares for weeks, claiming to have seen the witch in their dreams. Others have experienced odd physical sensations, tingling, sudden cold, even fainting. And here's another creepy detail. The bishop's room is considered the most haunted room in the entire inn. Several people have claimed to see two monks standing silently in the corner. Others have reported feeling an intense pressure on their chest, as if someone were sitting on them. So, why does the Ancient Ram Inn remain so haunted? Is it the ley lines, the pagan burial ground, or the traumatic deaths that occurred there? Maybe it's a combination of all of these. One thing's for sure, the inn's spooky reputation isn't just a gimmick. There's something unsettling about this place, something that refuses to be explained away. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, you have to admit the Ancient Ram Inn is packed with eerie stories and strange happenings. It's a place where history, legend, and horror blend together, creating an atmosphere unlike any other. So, if you're ever in England and you're feeling brave, maybe you'll stop by and see if the ghosts are as real as people say. But be warned, you might leave with more than just a good ghost story. If you're fascinated by mysterious places like the Ram Inn, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories of the strange, the unexplained, and the downright eerie.